A senior UN educational, scientific and cultural organization, UNESCO, official has sounded the alarm on the level of violence against journalists in elections. Now speaking to journalists on Monday, the chief of the section of the freedom of expression and safety of journalists and humanitarian laws say journalists should be protected to do their job. Yahya Jammeh has more details of that in this report.
The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization's Chief of Section of the Freedom of Expression and the Safety of Journalists, Golhambe Canela de Souza Godoy, said conflicts are taking lots of journalists' lives on an unprecedented scale compared with previous situations. Conflicts pose various constraints and difficulties for journalism. They are hostile environments for journalists who are faced with risk and dangers including death, injury, harassment and imprisonment. Godoy says special research has been conducted on the violence against journalists in elections from the year 2019 to 2022.
We did a special research showing violence against journalists in elections which took place in 70 countries during the period of 2019 and 2022. 759 cases of violations of journalists' rights, including violence, during those elections. And therefore, we sound an alarm, considering that in 2024, as many of you know, we will have elections in at least 81 countries. So UNESCO underlined the importance of developing measures to protect journalists' safety when they are covering elections.
Not only elections, but the expert also spoke about digital harassment and hate speech, among others.
On the other aspect, that is the digital problems, the digital harassment, the digital safety, misinformation, hate speech. As I mentioned, we are launching this new global governance guidance today with a strong chapter regarding how these companies, the internet companies, should behave also in the situations of conflicts, with very detailed indicators in this case that they should put in place an urgent process of content curation and content moderation in local languages, should reinforce the capacities of their own teams and systems on that, should be transparent in the way they are doing this, should keep these records for future investigations on this information that is circulating online.
57 journalists were killed worldwide in 2022. Journalism may not be considered the most dangerous profession in the world, but the risks for those entering into certain segments of the industry are clear. UNESCO's action plan is the result of a consultation process on a scale unprecedented within the United Nations system, with over 10,000 contributions from 134 countries collected over the last 18 months. The report, over 42 pages, outlines the principles that must be respected as well as the concrete measures that must be implemented by all stakeholders, governments, regulatory authorities, civil society, and the platforms themselves. Reporting for Eyeafrica News, I am Yahya Jammeh.